Happening now, many are waking up and ready for game day.
Yes, they are. The Lobos' road to the Final Four officially starts today on the hardwood in Salt Lake City. The guys are making their final preps for the game tonight against the Harvard Crimson, and they'll be doing it in front of thousands of fans who have made the trek north. If you didn't, don't worry. You can check out the game on TNT. Tip-off is set for 7:50. Coach Steve Alford has led the Lobos to one of their best years ever so far, and the timing really couldn't be better for him because he just signed a new lucrative contract that should keep him in the land of enchantment for quite some time. We'll give you all the details about this coming up in a half hour.
No downtime for Albuquerque fire crews. They stayed very busy overnight, knocking down a couple of fires. One fire broke out around 1:45 this morning in southwest Albuquerque on Michelle Street near Unser and Arenal. As you can see from this video, crews arrived to see flames leaping from the abandoned home. Firefighters were able to wrangle this one under control pretty quickly. Some teens saw the fire and called it in. You'll get to hear more from them coming up in our next half hour. And crews managed to quickly extinguish another fire overnight. This one was over near Indian School and University in northeast Albuquerque. Firefighters were called to the apartment complex around 11:30 last night, where they saw smoke pouring out of the second floor apartment. The fire quickly was snuffed and contained to one unit. The Red Cross was called in to help 3 families that were affected. The causes of both fires are still under investigation. And in some more overnight news, one woman is lucky, walking away with only minor injuries after crashing into a fence. It happened last night on Atrisco and 47th Street in northwest Albuquerque. Police say the woman lost control and crashed into the fence, almost crashing into an irrigation canal that was full of water.
Well, the Ventana Ranch neighborhood is finally back to normal this morning. This following yesterday's deadly shooting in a SWAT standoff that woke up many people there. Police still have a lot of questions, more than they have answers, about the man who was shot and killed at a home near Irving and Universe. Well, the Albuquerque police officer who got shot back on Sunday night is now out of the hospital and at home recovering.
Yes, and Police Chief Ray Schultz says his officer getting shot was no accident. The chief says the prime suspect in the shooting was this guy here, Kendall Carroll. He says the suspect shot Officer Ignace Danus, and that Danus and other officers were investigating a couple of incidents near San Mateo and Gibson when the gunfire erupted. Now, Tuesday, police got a tip that Carroll and his brother Michael were in an apartment near Indian School and Tramway. Police say the two refused to surrender. Michael Carroll eventually gave himself up. A state police sniper later killed his brother.
I think the situation pretty much speaks for itself. A very active situation, and an instant decision had to be made. And very grateful to the tactical team officer, that sniper, for making the decision he did.
Schultz says the gun used in Sunday's shooting was found at Tuesday's scene. Michael Carroll is being held on a probation violation. The Albuquerque Police Department has another lawsuit on their hands now, this time from the family of a man who died after cops tased him. It happened back in March of 2011 when officers showed up to a North Valley home on a domestic violence complaint. The suspect, 38-year-old Jerry Perea, wasn't there, but they later found him riding a bike. Now, police say he attacked one officer, hitting him with a crucifix, so they say officers tasered him. Now, Perea died on the way to the hospital. Medical investigators did not determine the exact cause of death, but did find that Perea had an enlarged heart and heart disease. Now, tests also found that he was under the influence of meth at the time. His mother doesn't believe that.
He never did do meth. He used to do other drugs, but we never knew of him doing meth, never.
The Perea family claims APD violated his civil rights.
One family in Albuquerque is being forced out of its home. Another is still looking for a home, and the landlord connected to all this is now in a lot of trouble. It all started when Melvin Mejia and his wife were looking for a new place to live. They thought they found it when Doug Easton showed them an apartment and said the one the couple could move into was just like it. So Melvin gave Mr. Easton a $400 deposit, went to check out the real apartment, and that's when he literally saw a red flag telling him the city safe strike force ruled no one could live in it because it was in such bad shape. So Melvin called the cops to help get his deposit back and find out why Easton tried to rent out such a shoddy apartment.
That's the only building I have left. That's my retirement, blah, 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 so I've got to do everything I can to. But in working with you at Elm, I know exactly what needs to be done before anything else happens.
That was lapel camera video from police at the meeting yesterday. That landlord, Doug Easton, eventually gave Melvin his money back, and the City Safe Strike Force started checking his other apartments. And so far, at least one where a family lives is ruled unlivable. So that family has to move out until Easton fixes it up.
A former commissioner still has not paid money back, taxpayer money. County commissioners say Nicholas Jaramillo attended jail employee training classes just weeks before he was set to leave office. Now, according to the Taos News, those classes cost $765. The paper reports that Jaramillo violated the county's procurement code by not getting the payment authorized.